The alarm inside ADX Florence screamed so loudly that it shook the concrete walls. Guards rushed down the long, echoing hallway known as the Range, where America's most dangerous prisoners lived. But this time, something had happened that no one believed was possible. A man locked away for 22 hours a day, sealed behind steel and thick glass, had done the unthinkable. He had vanished from his cell. In a prison built to be escape-proof, in a place where every corner was watched, where even the air seemed made of rules and steel, a prisoner had disappeared without opening a single door. "Check the cameras again," a guard shouted. But the officers had already checked them, twice. The footage made no sense. One second the inmate was sitting on his concrete bed, staring at the wall. The next second, the cell was empty. No broken locks, no signs of struggle, no holes carved into the walls. Just emptiness, cold, silent, and impossible. And the scariest part wasn't that he was gone. It was who had disappeared. Before the guards could say his name out loud, the warden stepped forward, pale as chalk, and whispered, "If he's out, we may already be too late." But before we reach the truth of how a prisoner inside America's most locked-down fortress vanished into thin air, we need to go back to when this story truly began. Long before the alarm rang through the corridors, ADX Florence sat quiet under the Colorado sun. People called it the Alcatraz of the Rockies, but even that name didn't capture the fear the place inspired. It wasn't just a prison. It was where the country kept the people it didn't trust anywhere else. Terrorists, gang leaders, master criminals who planned escapes the way chess players plan moves. Men judged too dangerous to live around other humans. And inside those walls arrived the newest inmate, a man named Marcus Hale. Marcus wasn't famous like Ted Kaczynski or Jakar Tsarnaev. He wasn't a drug lord like El Chapo. Still, the government believed he was just as dangerous, maybe even more. They said Marcus planned things ordinary people couldn't imagine. They said he could manipulate anyone. They said he had a mind that worked like a locked door no one could open. Some agents believed Marcus had information about a secret criminal network. Others thought he was simply too smart for his own good. All ADX Florence knew was that Marcus belonged in the deepest, darkest part of their world. When Marcus arrived, the guards noticed something different about him. He didn't shout. He didn't panic. He didn't even look afraid. He simply studied the prison like he was reading a map. Eyes front, the guard barked as they walked him down the range. Marcus didn't answer, but his calm expression made the guard uneasy. Prisoners usually reacted. Curse words, fear, anger. Marcus gave nothing. Once inside his cell, Marcus stood still while the steel door clanked shut behind him. The room was tiny, made of gray concrete. He had a concrete bed, a concrete desk, and a tiny slit of a window that showed nothing but sky. Most people felt crushed by the silence. Marcus sat down slowly, almost peacefully, and whispered something under his breath. The guards thought he was praying, but he wasn't. Days passed quietly. Cameras watched Marcus day and night. Guards checked on him constantly. Nothing he did was private. Nothing he said went unheard. And yet something felt wrong, like a storm gathering behind a mountain. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned orange behind the Rockies, a strange sound echoed from Marcus's cell. It wasn't loud, more like a soft tapping, rhythmic and slow. Tap, tap, tap. At first the guards ignored it. ADX Florence was full of strange noises, shouts, metal clanks, distant footsteps. But the tapping continued, perfectly steady, like counting. When a guard finally approached the door, he noticed Marcus sitting on the floor, his fingers resting lightly on the concrete. Marcus looked up, smiled gently, and said, "Do you know how many secrets these walls hold?" The guard stepped back. Marcus's voice wasn't loud, but something about it felt colder than the concrete. Later that night, the tapping stopped, and then came the scream. High, terrified, echoing down the range. The guards sprinted toward Marcus's cell, afraid of what they might find. But when they arrived, the scene waiting for them changed everything. Marcus Hale was gone, and what they found inside the cell made the guards freeze in horror. as the lights flickered overhead. The guards crowded around Marcus Hale's empty cell, their flashlights sweeping across the concrete floor. The air felt colder than usual, as if someone had opened a door to winter. No one spoke at first. They just stared, because something had been left behind. On the wall, scratched into the concrete with perfect, straight lines, was a symbol. A circle with 4 lines crossing through it, like a sun with sharp rays. It wasn't a gang sign. It wasn't anything the guards recognized. But it looked deliberate, carved as if Marcus had been planning to leave it for a long time. What does that mean?" one of the guards whispered. The warden didn't answer. He couldn't. Instead, he ordered everyone out of range and locked down the entire prison. Doors slammed, alarms blared, and red lights flashed like angry eyes. But ADX Florence had a rule: no prisoner escapes. Ever. And now they had a problem the size of a nightmare. Hours earlier, before Marcus vanished, the day had begun like every other inside ADX Florence. Guards walked the range in pairs, checking cells. Cameras blinked red. The whole place hummed with that strange, heavy silence that only the world's most secure prison could make. One guard, Officer Hall, had been assigned to Marcus that day. He didn't like the job. Something about Marcus made him uneasy, like looking at a puzzle with a missing piece. Hall stopped at the cell window and glanced inside. Marcus sat at his concrete desk, eyes fixed on the tiny slit window high on the wall. "You need anything?" Hall asked. Marcus didn't turn. "Do you ever wonder," he said softly, "why they built this place so deep in the mountains?" Hall frowned. "Doesn't matter. Keep your mind in your own cell." Marcus finally looked at him. His calm eyes made Hall stiffen. "People think this prison keeps danger inside," Marcus said. "But some places are built to keep something out." Hall stepped back. "All right, that's enough talking." Marcus smiled. "Is it?" That smile stuck with Hall all day. He didn't know why, but he felt as if Marcus knew something no one else did, like he was waiting for a moment only he could see. Later that afternoon, the guards noticed something odd on the security screens. Marcus was sitting perfectly still on the floor of his cell, legs crossed, eyes closed. "Is he asleep?" a guard asked. "Doesn't look like it," another said. "He's meditating?" For hours, Marcus didn't move. Not a finger. Not a blink. His breathing was slow and controlled, like someone preparing for something impossible. Then the tapping started again. Tap, tap, tap. "We need to check it," Hall said. So he approached the door with 2 others, shining flashlights through the glass. Marcus didn't react. He just kept tapping the floor with his fingers in that strange, steady pattern. Tap, tap, tap. "What are you doing, Hale?" Hall asked. Marcus finally opened his eyes. They were calm, too calm. "I'm listening," he said. "Listening to what?" Marcus tilted his head slightly, like he was hearing something behind the walls. "They're moving." Hall shivered. "Who's moving?" Marcus looked straight at him. "You'll see." Before Hall could respond, the lights flickered. Just once, but enough to make the hallway feel darker. Then the tapping stopped. Minutes later came that scream from down the range, sharp and terrified. The guards ran, hearts hammering, only to find Marcus gone. And inside his cell, next to the carved symbol, was something even stranger. A fingerprint. But it wasn't Marcus's. It was someone else's. Someone no one recognized. Someone who shouldn't have been inside ADX Florence at all. The warden stared at the print, trembling, and said quietly, "This means he wasn't alone in there." Before anyone could answer, the entire prison shook, like something heavy had slammed into the outer wall. A single, thunderous boom echoed across the Rockies. Something was happening outside, something powerful enough to shake the most secure prison in America. And it was only the beginning. The boom that shook ADX Florence made everyone freeze. Dust drifted from the ceiling. The lights flickered twice, then steadied, but the air felt wrong, thicker, heavier, like the whole prison was holding its breath. What was that? Officer Hall shouted. No one answered, because no one knew. ADX Florence wasn't supposed to shake. It was built to survive anything: storms, riots, explosions. But something had hit the outside wall with enough force to rattle the bones of the building. The warden grabbed his radio. "All units, move. Check perimeter, check towers, check cameras. Nobody gets in or out." But even as he shouted the order, he knew it was already too late. Because Marcus Hale, who had vanished from a sealed concrete box, had warned them. "They're moving," he had said. And now the whole prison felt like something larger than Marcus was moving with him. Before the shaking started, ADX had been struggling with a bigger mystery. How could a fingerprint inside Marcus's cell belong to someone who wasn't in the prison, wasn't in the system, and maybe wasn't even recorded anywhere? Forensics arrived fast, scanning the print. It came back with one message: no match found. Officer Hall watched the screen in disbelief. Every fingerprint in the country has a match. How is that possible? The technician looked pale. This print doesn't match anything in any database, federal, state, or international. Then who does it belong to? Hall asked. The technician whispered, "I don't think this person exists." But someone had touched the inside of Marcus's cell. And now something was attacking the outside of ADX Florence. Sirens screamed through the hallways. Guards ran in all directions. Some locked down the inmates. Others checked the cameras. The outside feed showed dust rising along the outer wall of the prison, but the view was blurry, like something was interfering with the signal. Then the tower guard's voice crackled over the radio, shaking with fear. "Warden, there's something out there. I don't know what it is." "Is it a vehicle? A person?" the warden demanded. "No, sir. It's just a shape, a dark shape, standing still." Standing still, after causing a shock strong enough to shake the whole prison. The warden turned to Hall. "Gear up. We're going outside." Hall didn't argue. He grabbed his vest and rifle, but inside his stomach twisted. He wasn't trained for this. No one was. As they stepped through the last security door and into the cold Colorado air, the prison yard lay quiet under the moonlight. The Rockies loomed in the distance like dark teeth. The wind blew dust across the ground. And then they saw it. A figure, tall, completely still, standing near the damaged wall. Its face was hidden under a hood. Its hands were at its sides. No weapons. No movement. Just watching. Hall froze. "Sir, look at his hand." In the moonlight, the figure's left hand glowed slightly, like something underneath the skin was shining through, thin lines, almost like circuits. The same handprint that had been left inside Marcus's cell. The warden stepped forward, voice shaking. "Identify yourself." The figure didn't answer. Instead, it slowly raised its hand and pointed, straight toward them. The earth trembled. Hall shouted, "Get back." But before they could move, something even worse happened. From the shadows near the wall, another figure stepped out. Then another, and another. 4 in total, each one with the same glowing lines running under their skin. Officer Hall whispered, "What are they?" The warden whispered back, "I don't know, but Marcus knew they were coming." Then a voice echoed from behind them. Quiet, calm, too familiar. "You're looking for me." Hall spun around. Marcus Hale stood at the far edge of the yard, hands behind his back like he was taking a late-night walk. He had no shackles, no guards, no fear. How did you get out here?" Hall asked. Marcus smiled gently. "I told you, ADX wasn't built to keep me in. It was built to keep them out." He pointed toward the glowing figures. "And now," Marcus said softly, "they're awake." The ground shook again, harder this time. Dust exploded from the damaged wall. Cracks spread like lightning. And as the wall gave its final groan, ready to collapse, Marcus whispered one last phrase. "This is only the beginning." The wall burst open. The wind howled. The glowing figures stepped forward. And everything went dark.